Everyone, thank you so much for joining in, and thank you so much for coming up for this campaign interview that we have organized on the occasion of Financial Literacy Month. We wanted to celebrate this month and wanted to understand this upsurge that has recently been seen in our society as well, amongst the youth, amongst the people of working class, and apart from them as well. So we would love to understand about financial literacy, why is it important, and all about your non-profit and how has your non-profit Nirmaan Organization has been working towards it. First of all, let me introduce myself. I am Pratham Kashyap, and with me I have my colleague Amrisha Chaurasia, and we are a part of a non-profit partnerships team here at Goodera. And first of all, we would love to hear from you and about the organization, Nirmaan Organization, and how does it impact the lives of the people and your beneficiaries. So over to you. Nikhil, can you?
Hi, I'm Sana Saleha. I work as a program manager here, and I manage the project for Coding Initiative program. So the major beneficiaries are the high school students who are part of the program, and I'm excited about the session too. I'd like to thank Goodera for coming up with such creative and interesting session. Yeah.
Hi, I am Imran, and I look for a women empowerment project wherein we catered to the semi-literate and literate women. We gave them skill training, and also once they complete the skill training, we promote them as entrepreneurs. So this is my major focus area. Apart from that, I also work for village adoption projects, health initiatives under Nirmaan. Yeah.
Great to have all of you. I work as partnerships manager at Nirmaan, largely focusing on program design and fundraising. So I come from an engineering and social sciences background, and had been working across almost all the focus areas and all the focus beneficiaries at Nirmaan. Looking forward for this session. Yes.
We have very diverse panel with us, and I think it will be a great session today. And so the most basic and my first question would be, why is financial literacy important, and basically why are we talking about financial literacy today, and how can it affect our lives, common people lives?
With this,
yeah, exactly, please.
As part of the Digital India campaign, even the central government is promoting digital transaction. Everything is now getting digitalized. So especially for someone who is now having a smartphone, everybody knows how to operate a smartphone nowadays. So it's very essential for them to have this digital literacy, even including financial digital literacy also. So session on these especially. Lot of us are especially my beneficiaries were born before 1990s. So it's very uncommon for them to know about computer literacy. Even I got to know about computers after my graduation. I learned especially. So that much I can say that I was illiterate, computer illiterate till graduation. Slowly, due to this in IT companies coming up in Hyderabad, so there was an urge for me to get computer literate. So likewise, I feel the same for my beneficiaries also. They need to get computer literate, especially financially, digitally. So it's very important for them. Otherwise, it's very hard for them to do any transaction, know something, know everything is available online. So it's compulsory for each and everyone to get literate, digitally literate. Yeah.
Just adding to that, so the communities or the beneficiaries we work with are very marginalized and also come from very underprivileged backgrounds, and finance is something very critical, and the ability to take or make them equipped with taking some financial decisions and all is something very important for their day-to-day activities, even for the day-to-day sustenance. So that's how financial literacy is very important for every activity that we undertake.
Adding to what Nikhil said, I personally also believe that being financially literate allows an individual to be better prepared for a roadblock. So when I am interacting with the students who are in government schools, so it's very important for them to know about student loans. Something when the students are intelligent enough, but they have in their mind that fine, they cannot become doctors because their family couldn't support. They couldn't they can't do their triple IT because maybe they're financially not so strong. So at school level, I personally feel it is important that the students' loan, we incorporate this thing. We talk about investments. Investments are not only for the millionaires or billionaires. A common man can also have investments. So these are the two things which I feel being financially literate in today's world means.
Absolutely, and I love the approaches that all of you have. And in the meantime, I'd like to introduce and welcome Anuradha and Sudhir as well. So thank you so much, Anuradha and Sudhir, for joining this conversation. Great to have both of you, and looking forward to your participation as well. I'll be asking my next questions. And I think Amrisha, my colleague, has a couple of questions from all of you. So Amrisha, over to you.
Thank you so much for that. And I would like to welcome every one of you from my behalf. So my question was, after listening to all of this, why do we feel that financial literacy is important, and how does it affect our life?
Yeah, hi Hamsha. So this is Sudhir from Nirmaan. So basically, many of the we work with the youth. We work for the youth skill development. So many of the youth also still today. So who are from the rural, they are unable to do the transaction in digitally. See, in case if any student would like to apply for any course, there is some chalana we need to pay for the examination fee, something like that. So still also they are depending on some other person, and they are giving some extra money to do the transaction. So if we can try to provide some modules on the finance literacy, so many of the youth can able to pay their academic fees, whatever the transactions are there. So many of the people also still standing in the queues to pay the electricity bills and other things. So we from Nirmaan, we are aiming at the training at least one person from every house to make them digitally finance literacy. So maybe this is very important for especially for the rural students.
Yes, we completely understand, and this actually is a problem that not many people would understand. Looking at how the NPO works for it, can we have a more insight on how do we work for the cause? How do we affect these beneficiaries directly?
So at Nirmaan, we focus on having more of the financial literacy session for our beneficiaries. So our beneficiaries are not just restricted to education. We have it from health, we have it from skill development center, we have it from education, of course. So what we tend to do is at their level, what are the requirements and what is the basic knowledge they get to know. So we at our NGO, we try to provide that through volunteering sessions and through a bank, someone from bank directly talking to the beneficiaries, because that is where the ideal people are not us, because we are not working in a bank or have more sound knowledge. So we try to arrange the sessions with the bank. So recently we had a session with HSBC also. So this way the students and the beneficiaries in general, whatever queries they have or whatever things they like to know, they'll ask, and this way we are trying to bridge that gap from our NGO.
So when you mentioned bank, is it when the beneficiaries come inside the bank and they have any doubts, so they can contact these particular people, or is it like a full-fledged seminar where the questions are shooted and the answers are given and all the people are sitting like a seminar happens, or is it like please.
Yeah. So, Amisha, it's like, because of the COVID, we cannot take our beneficiaries physically to the bank and all the protocols and all. What we had is we had have like 10 set of beneficiaries or 15 set of beneficiaries for one seminar session, and this was not a one-day seminar. It was we had a recurring events, we had a recurring sessions wherein we gave time for our beneficiaries to come up with the questions. So because when we had a seminar, many of them might have questions, or many of them might also want to take it forward and discuss it with their family members or extended family members. So so that way we had a follow-up sessions wherein the beneficiaries were able to ask the queries or the things which they did not follow, or some queries which came up with their their family members or their bread earners. So this is how it went.
Okay, so few more things, like based on what these beneficiaries require, starting from savings, like what is the importance of savings, then how saving and that could be done in a more systematic manner, like through maybe a post office savings bank account opening. Then after they get some or accumulate some enough money, how this small expenditure or the ledger expenditure savings, taking that or helping them through some apps, how they could do, then even initiating it during this demonetization, or once the demonetization happens, no one was clueless, or everyone was clueless of how they could use a Paytm or some other app or something, because every transaction is being made or promoted via digital platforms. So how to use, and while using, how to be safe from fraudulent or other things. So there are all this set of activities that we make them get aware, and then also do some mock sessions and all on how to use these instruments in their day-to-day activities. That is sort of work that Nirmaan had been doing, and with all the beneficiaries that we do. For example, in a village adoption, we made them open a registered bank account for the committee. Then we made them open or register it as a society or the FPO or something like that, so that they keep a track of day-to-day financial activities, and in such a way that there's no loss, or it will be mostly profit, or minimize the fraudulence and other activities that are happening, because it's easy, or maybe like cheating or doing for this set of beneficiaries, it is easy, and how they could save themselves from all these sets, that is another thing that we did. And at the same time, financial literacy also, like planning for small businesses or enterprises on how accounting or financing could be done, and how loans could be taken, various schemes of government, like there is Narega or some other like even Jan Dhan Yojana, or even other taking some small loans, every schemes, they would be explained, and how they could get through, even registering under MSME portals. These are all set of activities that Nirmaan had undertaken earlier, and continuing or updating on day-to-day basis as well.
Well, I believe you have touched on all the important parts, ranging from how to open a bank account to savings, and then using all of these digital platforms. Then coming to how can they be safe with their money online, and then various government schemes, and then also not only teaching them but then also guiding them. Open a business and making a livelihood out of it. So, like you mentioned, these beneficiaries, they do not come from a very privileged background. So, what do you think we are facing, the challenges that we're facing in this field, teaching people? Because obviously, telling them that hey, you can, you can put your money, you need not take out cash, you can do all the transactions online. So, I feel there would be some sort of doubt in their mind. How do we convince them? Yeah. So, like Nikhil has touched on all the important aspects.
Yeah.
I wanted to know, are there any challenges that we are facing? Like one challenge could be that's coming to my mind like right away, that they might be very dicey of the online procedure of money. That they need not take out cash; they can use it. They can use everything online. So this is something that's coming to my mind. Is there anything apart from this as well?
Yeah, there are always challenges, like especially convincing them to adopt or to shift to a digital platform. It's very tough, especially because even now also, like most of our beneficiaries, they don't have this GPay, phone pay accounts also. So, and they have seen their colleagues, neighbors, or someone got they got frauded. Actually, someone has taken their money from accounts, sharing OTPs and other things. So one or the other person, that is our practical experience also working with them. Especially, it is a very big challenge. So what we do in order to ensure that they are uh, uh, adopting this, especially digital methods of payment, we tell them, we arrange them this digital literacy sessions with bank people, like how Sana was saying. We had a session with HSBC. They have this comprehensive syllabus modules wherein they teach. This is not a one-time session, actually it's a recurring session. So over a period of 3 months, especially for our benefits, that is at the skill center. So at least on a weekly basis, or at least quarterly, that is fortnightly, we arrange this session for them. So every 15 days or every week, we refresh them. So these are the methods wherein you will get you will be frauded. Okay, someone will take your money. So now especially we have seen the results also. Even we arrange these sessions, like we take feedbacks also. Now we have developed a method wherein we are not only giving it to them, we are asking what we have learned also. So in this way, whatever the sessions we have given to them, we have ensured that they are giving proper feedback, they have learned something. And but as a challenge, especially convincing them to switch to a digital platform is still a challenge from my side.
Few more things which I would also like to add. So for every set of program or whatever we design, be it at a vocational training center or with school kids or anything, one is a program itself as such, which has some core goals or a set of objectives. For example, a vocational training center is something where women at end of it will get some employment and all. That is one core objective of that. Apart from having that core objective of the program, there are some things like overall personality development, ethics, basic ethics, getting that confidence. There are a lot of counseling sessions also that we undertake. During this counseling sessions, there are a lot of one-on-one sessions. Like there are mobilization coordinators, there are other program coordinators, there are program managers, and at each set of level, there is a one-on-one interaction or group interactions, and everyone are made to understand the other set of people with more like empathetic way of understanding them. And wherever some sort of additional support is required from our side, we provide that, be it with a small kid in a primary school or even women at a large scale. So these counseling sessions and other things help these set of beneficiaries to get that awareness and all, and then we follow this three objectives: train, transform, and triumph, as one set of objectives. So for every program that we undertake, we first train them. Training, it's not just training. First make themselves aware. We get awareness about their experiences or some other that they went through, and also provide that unique or personalized support wherever is required. So that is all part of training. Then the technical skills, which are technical, when I mean it's designed what as per the project requirements or something like that, based on need assessment again. So we do undertake need assessment, and in that we design the set of activities, and once that is done, that calls up some sort of transformation, and we take them to some exposure visits or make them do some activities, small set of assignments on their own. They gain the confidence and all, and then that leads to achieving the targets. That's what we call triumph in their own personalized way. Few of them are in need of a job, so getting that job is something making them triumph. And apart from this, we also promote something called give back. So these give back, like there are a few instances where these women or youth, they got employed and they also started giving back 2% or 1 month salary or something back to the people or the communities where they come from. So this set of activities build a lot of confidence both on Nirmaan program or project as such, on our teams is the second thing, and they open on a day-to-day basis. There are various touch points, so we understand them and ensure that all their, one is the need and other thing is also what their aspirations are about. So first targeting the needs, and then getting those aspirations also provided some support either through our own other projects or programs. Plus we also do undertake or get a lot of corporate volunteers. So even while onboarding corporate volunteers, we do have something like awareness sessions for these corporate volunteers to make them sensitize on with whom set of beneficiaries we are working with. So that builds up a lot of good rapport with the corporate volunteers also, and they try to fit into our shoes and even the beneficiary shoes, and speak in a more more sensible, I would say, that way. And there wouldn't be any like losing out the confidence at the beneficiaries level or anything, because the entire design or even the volunteering sessions or other project activities are designed in such a manner involving everyone on board. These are a few things that we do undertake, and once these are done, we also it's like we promoting this give back, and they going up and speaking to all their own beneficiaries or their communities. This builds up a lot of sensitization and confidence on Nirmaan or project activities and all, and like that whatever activity we are doing, be it helping them understand how to do a digital payment, or if they don't have for suppose few students during COVID time that didn't have tabs to continue their education. So we understood there is a requirement of providing some tabs and all, so they have to continue that education. So like that at every step we try to also support. I think that unique personalized connect and personalized support that we are providing through all our we call captains and lieutenants in our Nirmaan. These all activities are very successful.
So Nikhil has summed up like everything. He has covered everything. So the basic thing is we at Nirmaan try to identify the need of the beneficiaries and then do the need assessment and try to provide that need to them. So I mean, whatever time it is, be it COVID times, be it education, like before COVID also we had many challenges which we were identifying it. So we work in a way, finding the need, doing the need assessment, and then providing them with the needs. And having said that, a major chunk of the population, they come from the lower income group. And when they hear about certain fraud that had happened, so they stop using the digital mode of payment. They think that, oh, I have lost the money, so this is something wrong. And then what they do, word of mouth. I mean, they are going to talk about it with their friends, with their family, that don't use GPay, they are taking all our money. So this information, this knowledge, providing knowledge is very important to them, that it was not the fault of GPay or Paytm, it was fault of yours, wherein the vendor had entered a large, like instead of entering a 1,000 rupees, the vendor entered a 2,000 rupees, and then they realize it later. I mean, when they ask for an OTP, they just send it that way. So it is very important for us to digitally able them, digitally make them aware of how things are to be, what are your precautions which you got to take while doing the digital payment. And because this is the if we imagine a decade ago, I mean, not everyone had bank accounts. We remember, like, how it came, there was this drive of everyone creating a bank account and the government making a compulsion for all the population to create their bank accounts. So this is the next step, the digital financial literacy which we are talking about, it is the next step. So it becomes very important that we try to make the lower income group understand that, this is safe, you can do it, but there are certain restrictions or there are certain measures which you have to take. So I'd like to sum up with that.
And also, all beneficiaries who touch base with Nirmaan, actually, they are all digitally literate. We ensure that once they get into Nirmaan, we train them through our financial sessions that Nikhil rightly said as transformation workshops. So we ensure that they get digitally trained. Even if it is women, children, or youth also, like So we have customized our modules also according to the beneficiaries. Like for women, we identified their problems, where exactly their problem area is, where are the gaps. So we worked out actually with our beneficiaries, with volunteers also. Like we want this kind of sessions for women. For children, because they have that competency, they interact with each other, so they know more about financial things, like especially digital, they know how to operate. But for their parents, especially women, what we feel that especially now, even the government has announced that woman is the head of the family now. So we ensure that they are getting digitally trained.
So after listening to all of this, it's definitely not one of the few things that Nirmaan does. It's a whole list of things, and I believe we are doing our bit in making sure that India is like on the top notch in not only consumerism of technologies and technical products, but also who is very much used to these procedures. Because I remember reading an article that said that India is the only country that uses a QR code for payments at such a large numbers. So I wanted to know, like, it's a fact that we have come a long way, but then what else are we lacking in that's making sure that we are not on that top of the list, and what else is required for us to reach there, like as a whole, as when we consider country? Yeah, like in digital payments, and when finance mixes up with technology, and or even if we consider finance independency in financial sectors.
I think creating awareness, especially awareness is the key. Like if we promote, like Digital India campaign was very successful. Like everyone got inspired. Even there were special projects for them. Like Sudhir was implementing one of the projects. He successfully implemented. I think he has trained more than 15,000 individuals. So campaigns like that, especially focused on training people on digital literacy, will encourage more and more people to shift to that mode of payment. So especially this effort should be there. Like more and more people should come forward, support financially for these projects, especially. So then definitely we'll go to the top. Now even like especially I'll say about my project. Like we have two sets of beneficiaries here. One, they have the option of going digital. Others, they have to, without doubt, there is no option for them. They have to make digital payments. Like I'll talk about my set of beneficiaries who are undergoing tailoring course. One who comes to the center, they learn and they'll just go. But there are other people who want to be self-employed or become entrepreneur. So they have to adapt to the technology. So if we create more and more such sessions for them, give this learning opportunity, promote more such projects, so then definitely we'll be on top. There are more, what I feel that it's not a compulsory thing for some people. Still they are into this physical transactions. So if we promote more and more incentive, like give more incentives for digital payment. Why Google Pay got it was a big hit? Because they encouraged that cashback offers were there. Even Paytm was encouraging that. So people thought, okay, I'll make payments through Google Pay, get some extra money, earn some money. So if government or some platforms, like if they promote, give goodies, incentives, then definitely people will adopt to digital platform. That's my opinion. Yeah. Otherwise, there is no option actually. Still, people will make the physical payments and other things. Yeah. Hey.
I think that's absolutely very, very relevant, Imran. And you have, in a way, encapsulated how our digital financial literacy, digital financial landscape will look like in the future as well. I think we are on the right track so far, at least that I can say. And I think if we continue doing all the things that we're currently doing, and organizations like Nirmaan keep on working in the digital and financial literacy, and keeping our low income groups, as you said, also aware about these things, the changing trends, the changing landscape of the digital and financial literacy. I think we will soon be considered as a completely digital and financial literate country, nation. And with that, I would like to ask one more generic kind of a question, which applies to all and every single person. So how do you think people can authentically improve their financial understanding on their own? Like, so if let's say there are several people like us and Amrisha and a lot of others, so what is one thing that they can do to increase their or improve their financial understanding?
So I'll take this up. To begin with, we need to talk to a financial expert because at this point, if we are talking about us and us moving to a more financial stability, one thing we can do is to have a financial expert. So what we at Nirmaan do is bring that financial experts, directly for our beneficiaries. I mean, this is something which I personally support, wherein the financial expert, and when we are talking about beneficiary, it is not just one person who is attending the session. The entire family is being impacted with that one person. So, when one person is convinced of making a transaction on a Google Pay or on a Paytm, then it is not that one person, the entire family is convinced to do that. And this is what we do at Nirmaan. And next is, on a next level, wherein we talk about somewhat literate population. So subscribing to newsletters can be one aspect, or listening to podcasts. So we hear about some popular podcasts, like if I remember one thing, like Ramsey. I haven't heard about him, but then I haven't heard his podcast, but I have heard a lot from my friends that podcasts also help. And so yeah, these are few things which we can do it.
Absolutely. I feel, yes, like you said, that to start with, everyone should go to an expert, or in this digital landscape, we can bring the expert to us as well, utilize the internet, the facility of internet that we have. And on YouTube, we can find multiple lakhs of videos on basic financial literacy. And what I believe is, you have to start at some point. That's the biggest thing, that you have to begin your journey towards financial literacy. You have to explore while experimenting with different things. So I think if a person reads about Paytm or Google Pay or these financial concepts, if he or she does not apply those concepts, I think that will not be as fruitful as if they apply all those concepts in their real life and try to do a digital transaction, try to open digital accounts, try to get into SIPs or mutual funds or any other kinds of digital investments. So I think, yes, we need to get to an expert, howsoever, and then maybe yes,
also,
please.
Adding to it, sorry for the intervene which I did. So adding to it, what Amrisha was also asking, on the same line, how can we have a developed nation? So the answer lies here only, wherein we can make the ease on borrowing. Okay, so when the small business startup, they just want to grow, and providing ease in borrowing, and then we can also have ease in doing business transactions, because these days going to bank and time is money. We all know that that time is definitely money, and for the lower income cadre, they are earning on a daily basis. So when they are spending one day at the bank, it's like losing one day income for them.
Absolutely.
So this is also important, that making ease in doing bank transactions, and making borrowing easy, and focusing on development of rural areas, because the majority of our country is part of rural areas. So development of those rural areas, and also providing the entrepreneurship, like as Imran said, that he is also focusing on making women empower, and supporting them with small business. So these are the things which would definitely take our nation to another level, that top-notch level which Amrisha was talking.
Absolutely, I wish so, and we definitely will be. And thank you so much, all of you, for sharing all those thoughts. I think we had lots and lots of different perspectives, and I think one guest we haven't heard from is Anuradha. So Anuradha, I think we would love to hear from you as well. So one thing that you can speak to all those potential volunteers who would be watching this video, volunteers or common people as well, a message that how their bare minimum effort or contribution in terms of time, effort or money can create such a huge impact in furthering the cause of organizations like yours, and in improving the lifestyle and overall life of your beneficiaries as well. Anuradha?
All my team articulated well about what is happening and what is required exactly from the beneficiaries' perspective, and exactly the needs identified. Thanks both of you for have joining this meeting today. So few more points are there in addition to this volunteering session. So we would like to hear from both the sides. We wanted to capture the beneficiary feedback, and also it's very important to get the feedback from the volunteer as well. So we wanted to capture the video of the volunteer and beneficiaries as well, to have to more get encouragement from both the sides and also insights of the team.
Thank you so much, Anuradha. That has been a amazing discussion. Anyone wants to share anything else? We are, I think, on a close of this discussion.
I would like to add a couple of more points.
Sure.
Definitely, experts or expertise is one, but at the same time, a diverse group like finance or financial literacy, it's to do with a lot of other activities also, something like a behavior change, something like getting to know the problems in the technology. For example, there are a lot of technologies which were unsuccessful in getting that momentum and all. Socializing of the technology to the needs of the beneficiaries or those who are in need is another most important aspect. These all build up only when there is discussion with diverse set of groups where everything together will add up to the benefit or the holistic development that we are looking at. That is one important point. And at the same time, definitely there are a lot of successful stories each and every community has. From those communities, there might be a couple of people or even more number of people who were able to manage their finances or in fact get onto a better standard of living. So when we share those experiences, I'm sure like while we were doing work with few of the volunteers, they were sharing their own personal stories, like they were belonging to so and so rural background of maybe some backward state. Now they learned, understood, and got into opportunities of working and other things. So while these set of things are also discussed or during maybe volunteering sessions or maybe some sort of other sessions hosting a panel of these people or something like that, they also bring a sense of lot of confidence within these underprivileged or the marginalized communities, because everyone can get associated with their own personal or their community stories rather than an outsider perspective. So that also becomes our more impactful and sustainable change that we can foresee. So I thought these are very important while designing the sessions.